Everything that we put into the environment goes somewhere. It doesn't just disappear. Whether it's smoke from a wildfire, fertilizer on a field, or carbon in the air, it all moves, it all changes over time. And that movement shapes nearly every environmental issue that we deal with. In this next series of videos, get ready to get a little nerdy, because everything about environmental law is based in science. So let's get into it. There's a concept in environmental science called fate and transport. I love to say this term because it sounds kind of fancy and makes me sound a little nerdy, but really this is just a fancy way of asking two questions. Where does something go, and what happens to it once it gets there? Now the transport part is easy because it really is what it sounds like. It's about movement, how things travel through the air, water, soil, or even how it moves through our bodies. So think about dust or smoke carried by the wind, oil floating downstream, vapors coming off of paint or creeping up through the ground into a building, or what would happen to us if we ingest something like lead. And the fate is about transformation. What happens to materials once they're out into the environment? Do they break down into other materials? Do they get absorbed by plants? Do they settle in sediments? Or do they just hang around? Now, why does this matter? Because the answers decide whether something is a short-term nuisance or a long-term liability, or whether we even have to worry about it at all. The very concept of fate and transport shapes our environmental laws, how we regulate products, whether we can determine who's responsible for pollution, and even how we predict the future of our planet. From the air you breathe to the groundwater beneath the property to global climate patterns, it's the same science. It is the foundation of how we understand contamination, cleanups, and environmental protection. So when you hear about pollution, remember, nothing stays put and nothing stays the same. Understanding where it goes and what it becomes is your key to understanding many of the environmental problems that we face.